Hey there, rising star! Tired of using the same 3 lashes from 2 years ago? Lashes too heavy from stacking expensive 301s? Not getting the size you need, queen? Well, now there's a lash salon for you. Introducing Don't waste your money on off-the-rack lashes. Slap on some of your favorite smelling glue and go from this to this. Starting at only 10 payments of $1, you too can level up your lash game. Oh, you know Matsu? Be gay!
You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got you, moonlight. You're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You, moonlight.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Why, hello everybody. How are we doing today on this lovely Monday? Look who's with us. Look who's with us. Hi, Eric. How are you? We've missed you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No, listen, you are the science to Sass&Science, so there's never having you. It's just you've been so busy taking care of Central Florida and everywhere around that, you know, I mean, we can't expect you to be here. We like, you can't be everywhere at once. You just can't. You just cannot be everywhere at once.
Maybe I could with some cloning. I can put some of that Jurassic Park magic into some recipe to make it happen.
Well, I mean, Universal is doing their new Universal roller coaster, so maybe you can get up in on that.
If you see me on my face on a roller coaster, you know what happened.
Oh, exactly. We'll know exactly what happened. She went for a ride. Even though she's at the top, she still went for a ride.
A genetic ride.
Exactly. So just as everybody comes on in, I just want to let you know ahead of time, unfortunately, we are not going to have Ernestine with us today. She called me. She had a family emergency come up literally 45 minutes ago. She sent me a message, or she actually called me and was just like, I am so sorry. If you hate me, I understand. But she is having a huge family emergency. I'm not going to like tell her business out there because that's just not.
No, why not?
Because that's not the thing to do.
Well, you said my business when I was at the hospital.
That's because you gave me permission.
Well, that's true too. It was consent driven.
It's always the backwards on here. So yeah, so unfortunately, Ernestine will not be with us today, but she sent me some amazing notes. And then I messaged Eric and I was like, girl, are you available? Because I need some scientific end on this. And he was just like, okay, yes, I can do this. So I would like to thank you so much for coming in on Sass&Science, since you were part of the reason that we started this. And I know you've been busy, but thank you for taking the next hour out of your life to give us some scientific talk about loving the skin that you are in. Yes. We all have skin. It's the largest organ of our body, right? So
We are completely covered in skin.
Covered. Some have a couple inches more down there, but so you might even be covered a little extra. So let's say hello to a couple people. We have Don Brown, Daniel Markovich, Joe Troller says yes.
Hi, Joe.
Joe Troller asks me all the time. So where's Eric been? Just letting you know that, Eric.
Okay.
He said, where have you been? Don Brown says yes.
I'm not blushing right now. Talking about skin, am I blushing?
John Nierenberger, hello. Michelle Bone Woods, National Bearded Empress, owner, promoter, mother of the beards. And Christy DeLuke, hello. How are you guys doing? If you guys could do me a favor, you know the drill that we've been doing this now. Do you know that Sass&Science today is the 20th week?
What? 20 weeks?
20 weeks. Next week is the 21st, and then the Monday after that is the 22nd.
Girlfriend, we started this nonsense for when I think just shortly after COVID really hit hard here.
April 9th.
Yeah.
April 9th, we started this. April 9th, you and I were like, okay, yeah, let's just do like a fun little talk show because we could keep busy and stuff like that.
And we agreed to 4 episodes. That is it.
We agreed to 4 episodes, and then you bailed on me. Just reading the room a little quick.
It's fair. It's true and fair.
Fat Marker is coming in from YouTube, our YouTube channel. He says, we always love the skin we're in. Me too. I love a good skin flu. Let's just say about that.
Yes.
National Bearded Empress says, yay, so excited to see Eric. So you guys know the drill. If you could go down here and you slide over a bunch of hearts. So heart. I don't know if they have hearts. I don't think they do. And then if you can pop over and hit share. When you hit share, you can share to your groups, you can share to your page, you can share to everything. So let's talk about, I'm going to share it and say, let's talk about that skin, honey.
Mm-hmm.
That skin, honey. So Eric, what are some things that you could tell us about skin on the scientific side? You being an APRN, I'm sure you see a lot of things in the office.
So yeah, so some that was my sister. She just messaged me. So my sister just gave birth today, so she tends to pop in and out with text messages. Sorry about that.
Congratulations.
So talking about skin, I think the easiest way for you to evaluate is something good for your skin is when you're looking at the bottle, right? And you're looking at it at, where it be CVS or Amazon or wherever, is like truly ask, if you ask one question and one question only, I want you to ask, is this marketing BS? Okay. And when I say, is it marketing BS? Does the bottle have clear, funky colors? Is it vibrant colors? Does it have any certification that says approved by dermatologist? Does it smell? If it smells and it has and when I say smells, I mean does it have its own aroma, like a fragrance of some sort? Right off the bat, fragrances are almost in everything, which is kind of a shame. And while they smell good and it's very pleasant, the unfortunate truth is a lot of these fragrances are alcohol based, or even worse, they're essential oil based. Which different essential oils, as we know, have different functions. And we talked about that, I think, in our second episode even. Mm-hmm. And so we have to be very cautious on which oils we use and in what quantities, because it works like a prescription almost in and of itself.
Correct.
So marketing, is this just funky marketing or is this for real?
Right. So, going off of what you were saying about the essential oils and about fragrances and alcohol and stuff like that. So, the beauty industry, which lotion, skincare, and all that are not FDA regulated. That is part of the industry I am in. we are actually self-regulated. So we have no regulation. So I love it when people come in and they go, oh my God, my hair's super dry. So I went and got protein. And I'm like, no, you're actually killing yourself. Like, you're killing your hair doing that. Or, you know, oh, I noticed that I had a blemish. So I went and got some, you know, tea gel or whatever. And I'm like, no, 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 no. You need to go see a doctor if you're noticing that there's like, you know, dandruff and stuff like that. Because we're not FDA regulated, we have no government regulation. Literally, I could sit here in my house. Yes. I could put some egg yolks, some coconut oil, some peppermint, and start selling it. You know?
And it's completely legal. And it's completely legal, and it is considered, this is for lack of a better term, correct, right? Because we're all following, that's the guy, it's self-regulated guidelines, basically.
Correct, correct. So just so that everybody knows, there is actually a website out there that you can go on. It is called skincharisma.com.
And I'm going to be honest, I've never been on skincharisma.com before. Mm-hmm. I will say though that I'm not surprised that there's a place where we can look at, you know, this kind of information, and on whether it be scanning or just inputting a name of a product, we can have better understanding of what's in it. But I'm very happy about this. I'm very, very happy because I'm going to tell you a little personal story. So I, believe it or not, I am in my early 30s. So it's secret. Now it's out there.
22.
Thank you. Well, you know, it's the skin regimen, so we'll get to it. I've always been an Aveeno kid. I've always used Aveeno, and Aveeno is actually very nice and has treated my skin very well. Recently, though, I noticed that dryness, irritation, it wasn't, you know. So, and I noticed that in my 30s, I definitely needed to switch to more of an anti-aging regimen or focus. So, thank you, Joe Troller. But adding anti-aging regimen to my overall regimen and actually re-evaluating what products I use is something that I had to recently look at. So Septavil, CeraVe, all these things I had to essentially revisit. So, and after tweaking it a little bit, we're back.
Oh, you're back. You know, I will say I did notice back in April that your skin was a little red, but I wasn't going to call you out because you were all under stress. That's what I figured. But I would say, like, back in April and stuff like that, like my skin, because my diet was shit, because we were just sitting doing nothing, like my skin changed completely during the full shutdown. It changed. So, and that's the one thing that I love about Skin Charisma. I actually just went on there and looked at it. So Ernestine was a doll, and she sent me a ton of notes, ton of things to talk about. So I absolutely love that. So this is going to be just...
What's the website called again?
Skincharisma.com. So it's actually, I could do a share screen really quick, and you guys can see it. And what's lovely about that is you can see, like, you could put Aveeno in there. And let me pop over here and see. There we go. So you could put I put Aveeno in there. And it will tell you, like, you can click on here and it will tell you fragrance free. You can click on these ingredients, category face skincare. You know,
the one that actually shocked me that I actually need to get rid of for my regimen was Neutrogena retinol, and it has a very beautiful scent to it, but I think it was irritating and had a slight burn.
So I'm going to give you just a little tea on that. So what happens with retinols? Everybody is like, oh my God, we need retinol, we need retinol, we need retinol. So people that are using products that have retinol in it daily are doing the worst. They're actually reversing everything that retinol is supposed to be doing. They actually are, like you said, burning. It creates it's hyaluronic acid that is creating peptides and creating collagen reproduction. So what actually happens when you're using the retinol too much, you're actually damaging it and it's breaking it down even further because retinol is supposed to go deep into the skin, supposed to go into the dermis and create production. Well, if you have too much, what happens is that actually breaks the skin down because there's too much moisture there.
So we actually, what is it? It's not eczema. Is it
Psoriasis?
psoriasis? This is the same process that we see with psoriasis.
Mm-hmm.
So psoriasis is actually a overactivity of skin turnover. So
Correct.
it's similar, and we see what happens to that. Obviously, it turns red and inflamed, and it's essentially like raw skin almost, or raw meat. And
Exactly.
it bleeds.
So, and a lot of things come into play here. We're talking about, let's say hello to a couple people. Hello, Wanda Collins. Hello, Quinn Patterson. How are you guys doing? We are talking about skincare today on Sass&Science. We have Eric Flores, who is the science of Sass&Science. Excuse me. He is actually took the time from the office today and was able to come in and join us. And I'm so excited about that. He saved my butt because he's giving me true science on what the esthetician that was supposed to be here, but she had a family emergency that she wasn't able to be
I
here.
was saying, give her some credit. She has some really good notes in here.
Oh, she has amazing notes. Bitch, everything I'm about to read is not coming from me. This all came from her. She was like, I sent you notes. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, they're going to be just like, a dot with a thing. Oh, no. So age. Age plays a huge part in what we should be doing for our skin. As we age, we lose the ability to retain moisture, and the better part is actually we lose the ability to create collagen and elastin proteins on our own. So the collagen in our skin actually breaks down because of the energy that is needed for energy and oxygen for skincare to actually swell and puff and to recreate each other.
True. So let me kind of clarify that. Is that true? Yes. Is it completely true? There's kind of like a little backdoor to that discussion. So let me give you a little backdoor directory on that.
Okay.
So does our ability to generate collagen slow down? Yes. How much does it slow down? I don't believe that it's necessarily a significant quantity where it slows down, but it's present. Now, this is the key here, and you said it perfectly, is that does it puff up to give you that youthful look, right? That youthful, like, look that you had once upon a time. The answer is no, absolutely not. However, that can be achieved with collagen can actually be like redistributed and kind of like reformulated using lasers. And we do see a lot of lasers being used today for collagen reactivation and distribution.
That is actually in the notes. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit.
Perfect.
Laser therapy and microcurrent.
Yeah, that's perfect then.
So look at you. Come on, almost doctor. Come on, doctor. I say APRNs are doctors. I don't give a shit. They are doctors. Y'all are doctors.
Don't tell them that. They get upset when you say that.
Y'all are doctors. I'm sorry. APRNs are doctors. So different age groups should have different skincare routines. So when you're 0, basically being born to preteen, main thing is SPF, diet, and water. And back in April, when we were discussing about things that people should be doing, we were saying exercise and water, exercise and water. Hello, Casey Lyle. Thank you for joining us. We were talking about diet and water and making sure that those two things go hand in hand for your skincare. Especially when you are 0 to preteen, because especially when you're preteen, I wouldn't say so much today, but in our time, well, really my time, because I'm 41, I was outside more than kids are today. So SPF was important because we always got sunburns outside, So everything, I don't think we realized, like the sun worshipers.
So I was actually an outside kid too. I played kickball in the street for all day long until basically the sun went down. One of the things, and I mean I kind of feel bad for
the youth today.
Kids, youth today that don't necessarily get to experience that, right? And I kind of wish that they did, but that's just, I guess, a different topic altogether. Maybe a different show. But one of the things that happened to me at the time is I actually had I fainted once when I was a teen, And my father, unfortunately, had just recently painted the house. So there were tin cans, those painting tin cans. Of course, safety of tin paint cans back then is not like we have today,
Right.
where the edges are beveled. So I actually have a scar on my face, and it's here.
Oh.
And it's almost imperceptible. One of the things that I had to do is actually I had a Band-Aid on my face. I looked like Nelly at the time. Do you remember Nelly the rapper?
Oh, I remember Nelly. I 100% Nelly.
Hot stuff or whatever. No, that's not hot. I'm a horrible singer. Anyway, so I basically had a Band-Aid on my face for almost 6 months to basically keep the sun away from the scar on my face and let the scar kind of heal. And that's kind of why it's imperceptible. Because basically the cells when cells are exposed to sun, and especially if they're new cells, skin cells, you're on the risk of hyper or hypopigmentation. So a way of helping heal this along, you can use Mederma. Mederma is also very good at that.
Mederma's amazing. Quinn Patterson, I see your question. Quinn asks, what would you suggest for ethnic skin so that your skin wouldn't be so dry? So one of the number one right here is your H2O intake. Your H2O intake is the number one, literally the number one ingredient that is needed to help dry skin in general. Dry skin, dry hair, water, 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 water. And water does not mean iced teas or lemonades, water that has flavoring to it. That's not water. Literally, like clear, has no taste. I love it when people say, oh my God, I can't stand the taste of water. I'm like, water has no taste unless you're drinking Dasani. That shit tastes like minerals.
Yeah.
Dasani is disgusting. But water is the number one thing. Then if you are looking for topical, you want to stay away from anything that has alcohol contents. And you want to stay away from anything that has petroleum contents, because petroleum will actually block your pores.
Yeah. So think of what petroleum is. Petroleum is actually like gasoline almost.
Correct.
So it has a burning effect, which is not a bad thing, right? Sometimes we want to kind of get rid of some of the topical cells, but not always.
Well, and what I don't think what people understand with petroleum, like you said, it's gasoline. Petroleum is from fossil fuels that are actually pulled out of the ground or synthetically made to create lubrication or to create a burning effect for fuel. So when I see people that are like, oh, I use Vaseline on my skin, I'm like, oh, do not put that on there. Get it off now, So it's like a lot of the things I'm always saying to people, even though I'm not a skincare specialist, I am a full cosmetologist, which means that I do have some facial background.
Talking about your facial background, Don Brown just posted a comment, actually a question, is witch hazel good for facial cleansers? So tell me what you think about facial cleansers, and I'll follow you.
Okay, so there are pluses and minuses to witch hazel. So witch hazel is actually a good antimicrobial. It will actually help disinfect. What witch hazel won't do is it actually will not dry the skin out. But that is how come when you have acne, they say don't put alcohol, put witch hazel. Because what it will do is it will dry out the acne because it will clean it, but it won't dry out the skin around it. So, but there's an adverse effect to that. So whenever you use too much witch hazel or you put witch hazel on skin that does not have acne or that does not need a cleansing, you're actually going to start dehydrating and creating acne to come because it's going to dry out and your pores are going to open up.
Yeah. So
she's smart. She's smart.
Yeah, definitely. This might get graphic in a moment.
No, go for it.
So I like witch hazel for one place of the body, and that is for hemorrhoids.
Oh, absolutely.
So it
That's what.
has a constricting effect to whatever part of the body it touches. It helps to close and clamp down. For people who have hemorrhoids, of course, this can help stop bleeding and whatnot. So I feel like witch hazel has a time and place on when to use it. I would be very cautious, and I feel like when people utilize it, especially I wouldn't utilize it as a daily facial cleanser. I think that's definitely an overuse.
Oh,
But
100%.
does it have its time and place? Is it a good, effective, astringent cleanser? Absolutely. As an everyday cleanser, no way.
The one cleanser that is actually good for you, that is safe, that is one of those things that if depending on, I mean, there's so many cleansers out there. You could go to the dermatologist, you could go to Sephora, you could go to Ulta, you could go, get something made specifically for your skin, depending on what your budget is. But there is a soap out there that you can actually use that is gentle enough for your skin, and that is Ivory, because it is 99.8% soap. It's not filled with a bunch of stuff. So you actually can use Ivory on your face. It's going to cleanse it. It's going to pull off all the oils. So you got to make sure that you do put back. So let's really quick. So Joe Troller says the big thing with your skin is to understand if you are oily, combination, or dry first before choosing any skincare regimen. Joe Troller, you are 100% correct about that. And that is how come I think it is extremely important for people to go to either a dermatologist or an esthetician. And this is where I'm going to knock doctors for a hot minute and the healthcare industry, is that estheticians and dermatologists, that is their specialty.
Absolutely. You go to the person who has the expertise there.
Exactly. So, I mean, if you got a boil and a whoil and something's oozing and boozing, bitch, you head on over to the doctor and then you come and see your esthetician,
Yeah.
But, if you're wanting to know your skin combinations, if you're wanting to know the map of your skin, the number one place to start is an esthetician or.
Do you remember what was the one thing I said in the beginning of this? If there's one question you're going to ask, what is it?
That who was going to ask?
If I was to tell someone, it's like, how do you determine if this is good or bad? What is the one question do you ask yourself when evaluating a product? And when I say evaluating a product, I'm also talking about services too. So if we're talking about dermatologist or esthetician, right?
So would I use it on my genitalia?
What?
Would I use it on my genitalia?
No. It's exactly that. Is this marketing BS, right? Are they just trying to pass one on me? So I guess when Barasa says esthetician, I'm kind of very cautious about people I see at Sephora. I think that's a good example.
That's not an esthetician.
Some might be. Don't get me wrong. I would know that maybe there is one in there.
Yes, there is. There are estheticians there that work there.
But I'd be very cautious about that.
Exactly. Do your research. Yelp is a wonderful thing. Don Brown says, my face is a little oily, so what would be good for me to cleanse with? So, Don, this is where I'm going to come to you. As that I am not a licensed doctor or medical professional, I would recommend that you go and you see your local esthetician to get the correct combination of what you need, because what you think might actually be oily, you might be dry.
Or combination for that matter.
Or a combination.
Yeah.
Quinn Patterson says, thank y'all for answering. You guys are amazing. You are very welcome. So, really quick, let's go into more ages really quick.
Well, actually, before we go into ages, Don Brown. So I don't know what Don Brown's age is, right? And I'm not sure if we have that information handy anywhere. But, it all depends. It's not just that you have oily skin, but it's also that you have oily skin at what stage or age of life, right? And what are your needs? So I'll let Beyonce go into the ages, and then we can figure out what maybe Don Brown needs.
Okay. So, excuse me. So 20 is great skin. Keep the SPF, diet, exercise, water, great skincare regimen, geared up protection and antioxidants. So think about it. When you were in your 20s, your skin was the best, and I 100% agree with that.
Mhm.
30s, this is where anti-aging starts. This is where everything starts to break down. And trust me, Mama over here knows. She got the bags under here. You got a little puffiness, but that's also because you work your ass off. But her knees are feeling it too. So peptide supplements, diet, exercise, SPF. And I want everybody to make sure that they are paying attention to, there's some key things that are in each explanation of the agents. Your skin begins to lose the collagen and the elastin production, as well as moisture retention in your 30s. In your 40s, take a really good look at where you are with your skincare. This is when you are basically at that crucial point of not completely reversing time, but maybe slowing time down on the effect of what your skin is happening. In your 40s, your skin is going through a midlife crisis just as well as you are emotionally. So this is when you definitely want to go and see what your skin needs and kick it up a notch. Your 50s and 60s, again, this is where you again want to look at where you are again, because now you're looking at peptides, HA supplements, protection, regular exfoliations, introducing melanin inhibitors, the basal skin cells and stuff like that, and visiting your dermatologist at least once a year. I think that is one thing that, as people get older, we forget that we do have to go to a dermatologist, not just skin looking sickening and snatch pulled back, but there's, what do they call those? Those little melanin cancery things? What are the basal cells?
Yeah. So, unfortunately, this month alone, I've diagnosed basal cell carcinoma twice.
Wait, who, what?
I have had to diagnose basal cell carcinoma twice.
So can you explain what that actually is?
So yeah, basically in a nutshell, the sun's gamma radiation penetrates. So gamma radiation from the sun actually penetrates all throughout your body, right? So it's not like UVA, UVB, where it can be like surface deep. The gamma actually penetrates through, and that's what creates a lot of like essentially the worst damage that we can get from the sun.
Right.
And then, of course, cancer is basically a cell in the body, anywhere in the body, that is replicating uncontrolled because its genetic sequencing of programming has kind of gone awry. So, unfortunately, what happens is that usually basal cell carcinoma happens on a part of the skin that is most exposed by the sun. Obviously, that's where the damage occurred. So that's exactly, yes. And actually, one was on the cheek, and the other one was on the nose. Out of the two I did this month, that I had to diagnose and refer to the dermatologist.
So what is the sign when you're looking in the mirror? What is that, red, brown?
Actually, it has like a white, gray, and even sometimes blue tinge to it. And it's oftentimes it can be waxy with some pearly edge. Those are unique characteristics of it. Yeah, so it's kind of hard because also the way that it goes down. Remember, it's actually from damage that's deeper in the skin. So what you see on the surface, it's kind of think of an iceberg. There's much more underneath the water, so there can be much more underneath the skin. What you're just seeing is the tip of that iceberg.
Oh damn! Well, shit.
Yeah. So skin protection and skin health in general is absolutely very serious business.
That's kind of scary. So let's do a couple comments really quick. Well, let me finish just the age really quick, and then we're going to go into comments. 70 plus, still young, vibrant, and beautiful. Do what makes you feel good. Keep your skincare routine. Keeping up your skincare routine will not only be beneficial to your skin, but it'll also how you feel about it. Whether we like it or not, how we look on the outside tells a lot about how we feel on the inside. 100% true. Keeping good skincare regimen can really help you feeling young, vibrant, and beautiful on the inside as well. And I'm going to comment on that just as a stylist, seeing a lot of older women in my chair. I'm lucky that I don't do the whole shampoo set thing. She doesn't even have rollers in her salon. Okay, but I do have some women that come in and get a shampoo blow dry once a week. Which is actually good for them because they don't need to shampoo their hair that much if they're not active. And they're always talking about their skin. It's, oh, it's so dry, or, and remember, as a stylist, we hear a lot of things just like, yeah, I'm dry down there. We have to use a lot of lube. Do you know that actually eating a teaspoon of coconut oil a day will keep your things moisturized down there?
So I will second that, and I agree to the coconut. but in a different way. So when you go to your healthcare provider, whether it be your doctor, your nurse practitioner, oftentimes we're looking at your HDL, right? So HDL is your good cholesterol. This is what we call healthy cholesterol. So you're saying coconut oil. I would say olive oil or avocado. Basically, the things that we traditionally know are oils from nuts in general, or nuts themselves, right? So if we keep our healthy fats high enough, right, it actually helps to preserve our body.
Correct. So on a health side, cholesterol, yes, because I actually did the research on this part, just because I was wondering about why I was hearing that. So with the nuts and stuff like that for the cholesterol, and it does help preserve your body. But having good HDLs and stuff like that, the heart healthy cholesterol, having the good side, but adding the
and people who hate to eat like olive oil and all these other things, or coconut oil, or whatever the case may be, then just, you know what, pop a fish oil capsule and call it a day.
Exactly. But when sorry, I'm sharing the hell out of this thing because I think that this is really important. So everybody, just go in here and share, and a bunch of hearts right now, please. I'm doing this while I'm paying attention, which is a lot to do. So my Adderall is still working. I took it 30 minutes late, so she's still working. But no, I was reading about how the coconut oil, when you ingest it, because it was fattier, it keeps it hydrated. And I was like, okay, I mean, there's more to it, but I don't want to bore all of them. But because there was more fat to it, but it's a good fat, that's why you could actually stay more moisturized ingesting a teaspoon of coconut oil.
Yeah.
And you could do it with it hot. And you could also do teeth pulling if you've never heard of teeth pulling, but that's a whole
oil. Oil. Yeah. Anyway.
Girl, that shit's nasty. I did that before.
Oh, God.
So Don Brown says he uses Kirk's Castile soap for showers. Is this a good product? I have.
You know what? I have an idea. Do you want to find out if it's a good product? You know what I'm thinking?
SkinCharisma.com. And we're not being promoted by this. Like, we're not sponsored by them or anything.
No. But you know what? I'm excited to use this tool. So let's find out. Do you want to?
So what are we doing? Kirk's Castile.
Yeah. Let's do some screen sharing so we can see the website and see how that works.
Okay. So
Daniel, I'm calling you out. You're a liar.
All right, so we're going to do a screen share. We're going to do a screen share. We're going to come over here to the Chrome tab. We're going to hit the skincare. Okay. All right, so it's called Kirk's
Castile soap.
All right, so let's see here. So we're going to search, browse, compare products, cosmetic analyzer. What's that? Cosmetics analyzer.
Okay, focus, lady. Focus.
Oh, sorry, Seption Kirk's. Is it with an S or no S?
This is, let's see what happens.
Castile?
Castile. Oh, okay. It's with an A. There's an A.
So this is how this works. So analyze your product.
Okay.
Shit. Hold on. Analyze products. Of course, you just threw me on. You want to what? I'm going to give you a next subject to talk about, and I'm going to let you talk about it while I go on here and find out exactly what the fuck I'm doing before we're sitting here trying to figure this thing out.
Okay. So what's our next topic?
Well, really quick. So Don says he's 49. Joe Troller says that you have daddy lines. Ron Hankey, he said, Ron Hankey has gone through a huge weight loss journey, by the way. So congratulations, Ron Hankey. Congratulations, honey. He says he's been using liquid collagen for almost 2 years now. And Ron Hankey always does look like he's like 12. If they need full body moisturizing assistance, I suggest a massage. I have some clients that legit come for the relaxation massage because I'm able to apply creams and lotions to areas they cannot reach. And their S/O won't. Oh, significant other. Oh, look at you with your little wordings. I will say this, that Joe Troller is an amazing massage therapist. He is respectable. He does not do the whole happy ending, love you long time thing. He is an amazing massage therapist.
I have
so
evil thoughts in my mind. I'm
you
gonna.
better have that Addy working tomorrow at noon. He's coming in and getting his haircut.
Oh, okay.
Your makeup looks great, by the way. Thanks, babe. Is that what he lied at? Oh, bitch. Don says, yes, the Addy stopped working. Kirk says so. Okay, so I'm going to go in there, and Ron Hanky says, thank you, love. You are very, very welcome. So the next that we're going to talk about is gender. While we speak about gender, the difference between the X and the Y chromosome and the hormonal balances that they do on the body with skincare, I'm going to pop over here and try to figure out how this website works really quick before we are trying to actually show this. So I'm going to pull out. Yeah. I'm going to put Eric right on the screen by himself. Okay.
Hi, everyone. So let's talk about gender. So when we talk about gender, basically girls win first, boys win last. Win last. So the way that works is that estrogen, especially when highest in feminization early on in life, especially during the teen years, we definitely see greater skin in girls. Definitely, especially, yeah. So we're talking about teen years to maybe early 20s. Later on in life, when it comes to men, right, men definitely lose during their teen years. The reason why men lose during the teen years is because of our hormone and our hormone balance. We are definitely talking about estrogen and testosterone. So estrogen definitely helps with preservation of skin, especially early on for girls, whereas for boys who have low quantities of estrogen and high levels of testosterone, they actually break out and produce more sebum, or that oil that produces on the skin. That oil definitely clogs up a lot of the pores, and what we tend to see is that, basically in a nutshell, just acne everywhere, that teenager acne. We even see this with transgender people when are female to male and they're masculinizing, right? And especially for that first year of treatment in transgender people, we could definitely see that acne definitely holds up true, right, as the hormones shift. Now, the reason why boys win later on is two areas. That same thing that hurt them during their teen years protects them later on in life because they have more even distribution of moisture guarding oils throughout their body in a more consistent fashion. Additionally, shaving, right? Well, not most of us use beards nowadays, but shaving is actually an exfoliant. So regular exfoliation of their face definitely helps. Women these days, or in general, are now having to do more, or are going to do more exfoliation, just because we know better and this information is relatively available. So it's common to see like silicone sponges, scrubs, brushes with natural fibers, on the market, and that's why it's being sold, is because we know that exfoliation is important. So girls will definitely scrub, or even use the electric one that will scrub for them all throughout, to help provide that exfoliation that men naturally get from shaving. So that's it. That's aging in a nutshell. Whether you're a boy or girl or trans in between, you could definitely get your exfoliation and oils to keep you glowing even into your long years. Yup. Does anyone have questions about that? Anyone have questions? I think Beyonce left me all of Sass&Science. So
listen, I'm trying to sit here to get this done, and so you have to sign up. You have to sign up to use it, which means you have to use the Facebook. You could use your Facebook login, or you could do your email login. And yeah, so I'm not having a very good time.
I'm sorry, I put you on the spot. I was excited to use that.
You did put me. This is your fault.
Totally.
This is your fault.
I returned to Sass&Science, and all I do is cause trouble.
Look at you. Let's say hello to a couple people. Hello, Marin Pinder. Hello. We miss you, love you. Her birthday's coming up, so we could all wish Marin Pinder a big, huge, happy birthday just by doing a lot of hearts. That would be lovely. She has been on Sass&Science twice. She is a licensed certified social worker. So she's been on here twice talking about healthcare of the mind. Hello, Robert Noland. Hello, Nicholas Melton. All right, so yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't really mentioned Botox or fillers.
So this was more along the lines of skincare regimes. This version, this episode of Sass and Science was take how to start your skincare regimes. When the next is the environment. We have to look at where we work. If you're a food prepper, if you work outside, if you work with chemicals, if you have a lot of makeup, stress.
For example, for me, and actually this applies to you too, we both work jobs that are primarily indoors. So I actually do not use sunblock of any kind because a good 80 to 90% of the time I'm indoors. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need, and in fact, something that people don't realize is that the windows in your car, the windows, most common windows in your home, especially the modern ones, will have a UVA and UVB block to them.
Oh, well, that's nice to know.
Yeah.
That's really, really, really nice to know. Yeah, I use I have a SPF lotion, or I have a lotion that has a built-in SPF just because of, even though I'm working inside and I work until God knows what time at night, just in case I do go outside, I do want a little bit of protection. But lots of makeup. The one thing that I could say, like when I go to take this off, I use a gel to oil remover, and my skin literally feels like it's like if you've ever cleaned something so clean that it literally like plastic goes. That's what it feels like. So I have to make sure that I moisturize afterwards. People that work with chemicals, our skin absorbs all of these things. Food care workers, so if you're around steam all day and you're working with spices and you're working with grease, think about if you were 15 and you were working at one of the
I was working at Taco Bell, and I kid you not, I was the one that fried the chalupas.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I worked at McDonald's, and
Really?
oh yeah, girl, I dropped those fries, honey. She was up in 1.35 minutes, and then you turn it on again, and then you dump it, and you do the salt in the letter M.
Oh, wow.
That is how you're supposed to salt the fries at McDonald's. You do
I did not know that. Okay.
Because it flies all over, and then you toss it, and then you shove it in there. And a medium fry is actually the size of a large fry, or at least it was back then, just to let you know that. So when you get a large fry, you're actually getting gypped because it's tighter at the bottom. Just to let you know.
Well, I don't think it's always tighter at the bottom, but
girl, I'm not even going to go there because I could make a really good joke right now.
I left it and walk away.
All right, so our next is weather and environment. It really depends on where you live. If you're up north and you have a change of seasons, your skin changes during those seasons. If you're down here in the humid tropics of the southeast, aka hell, our skin gets a lot of moisture. If you go over to Arizona, it's drier.
Oh my God!
So
from Florida to Las Vegas, the moment you come off that aircraft, all I feel is like literally my moisture being sucked out by the air.
Oh, absolutely.
Desert air. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, just
and my lips chapped up and cracked so bad.
Chapped so bad. So bad. So it's like you have to make sure that when you are working there, and some of the things that we say, sunny environments, UV rays bend, reflect, and they bend and they reflect. SPF should be a factor even when indoors because of the windows. Driving in your car, fauna and flora can cause allergies. Access to fresh fruits and veggies. So you want to make sure that you're getting a lot of intake of fruits and vegetables to create the natural preservation of your face. Coastal places, diet tends to be richer in fatty acids, higher vitamin D from outdoor activities. Smoggy environments equals clogged pores. Cold environments, dry skin. Humid, more moisture in the air, which means your skin is going to be more moisturized. And that's actually, if you see somebody that goes from Arizona to here, they look actually like 2 to 3 years younger when they come here because their skin. Yeah. So access to water, hard water can cause sensitive skin, harder to rinse off and clean. It can affect your pH. Adding a water softener would help. So I mean, there's so many things. Genetics come into play here. It doesn't mean that you can stop the genetics of what's going to happen, but you can help change.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Exactly. And then the number one thing is, and one of the other number one things is medications.
I don't know if it's the number one thing. I think the number one thing would be that when all else fails, and
Another number one thing.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say when all else fails and you've done your due diligence and all your regimens have gotten you as far as they can go, come see me.
Exactly. Just go over there and pop over there and see Eric, and he can inject some Botox into you, bitch. Because I'm headed over there because she's getting low.
Ooh, yeah, it's time for you, girl.
That's why she was like, "Oh, she's gonna wear her little puff in the front today."
Oh, poof.
Okay. But antihistamines, allergy season. Antihistamines naturally dries you out, so it's gonna dry your skin out. You know.
So antihistamines do dry you out. This is an interesting part. They can actually cause, depending on the quantity and the sensitivity of the body, can actually cause confusion and constipation.
So it could dry you out all over and inside.
It's all over. It's full system. It's everything. So it's kind of interesting because it's over the counter, and people generally view things that are over the counter as safe and okay to take. But grain of salt. Have caution.
Exactly. So, some comments that we have here. Marin said that her phone died. She had to switch to her iPad. She had to get a new phone because her Apple phone did the whole cellular data is not working thing or whatever. And yeah. Joe Troller says, still can hear the McDonald's grill countdown in my head.
Oh my God.
Don Troller says, being a hazmat tech for the fire department, we get exposed to a ton of chemicals. Thank you again, essential workers. Thank you for everything that you guys put your lives out there for us. But yeah, you guys get so many chemicals, and that's one thing that you guys have to make sure that when you're around those chemicals that you are actually doing a detox on your skin. Joe Troller says, weather-wise, even if you are under a shade structure at the beach, make sure you wear a sunscreen. Every shade structure has its own SPF. If you live in Florida, the SPF will diminish more quickly because of the harsher sun. Also, the sand and water can reflect it too.
Yes.
So, well, she's just smart. Well, Joe Troller is also, he knows all this, massage therapy, esthetician, all of that good stuff. So, so do we have any other questions do we have any questions about skincare regime as we come to the close of the show? Do we have any other questions that we have that we could bring up? And I can give you my non-medical side from the beauty industry end. And
actually, I wonder, would you like to share the personal products that you use for your regimen?
Yeah, I could go grab them really quick and show you.
Okay, yeah.
They're called Geology.
They're called what?
Hold on. Geology.
Oh, okay.
Geology. Hold, please. Eric, keep them busy.
Okay. Well, she's doing that. I do not have mine fixed. So I will actually share what my face regimen. Look, my husband's in the back there. Oh, Lord. So let's share what Eric uses. Ta-da! Let's see. So these are actually my favorite here. As you can see, I love my psyllium husk. So there's definitely lots of that. I still have some Old Avino and lots of CeraVe.
Bitch, that's a countertop.
Well, I mean...
But where's the lube? That's what I want to know.
I think it's a different drawer.
You're like, that's in the drawer. So I start in the morning. I use my Everyday Face Wash by Geology. They actually use right here. And what I love about this company, because I did a lot of research on them, was it tells you the first step in your skincare regime: lather 1 to 2 pumps in your hands and apply to your face and neck. Wash for 30 seconds, rinse with warm water. The thing about this too is you want to make sure that you work in upward motions. When you're using skincare, the number one thing that I hate to see people doing is, and then they go like this. I'm like, no, even when you're washing, you want to wash in upward circles because that pushes the muscles and the skin up. Upward circular motion.
Well, I don't know about the skin being pushed up, but I will tell you one thing though. I definitely use a natural fiber brush. And I do like the same way you clean your teeth in a circular motion, your skin in a circular motion.
Yep, circular motions. Then I use my Everyday Vital Morning Face Cream. This actually has almond oil in it. So almond oil is actually really good. Like we were talking about fatty acids. So it actually goes in there and helps regenerate. And what I love about it is the little dispenser, it does just like this nice.
Just enough, that pea-sized quantity. Yep.
That's all I need for my whole face.
Yep.
Then at night, I have that during the day, and then at night I use the Everyday Face Wash again. And then I put on every other night. I put on my nourishing eye cream that has retinol in it. And then I take that and I do not circular. I tap. When you tap, it actually forces it into the skin. When you're using a retinol product, you're wanting to tap it because you're wanting to pound it in there, but not beat your face. You just want to tap that light. Remember, this skin is super sensitive. It's super thin. So the more action that you have there, a little bit is going to go a very far way in the sense of damage. So you want to tap and be very gentle.
Not to mention that consistency and regularity is going to be a key. So it's not about tapping it in once and then calling it a day. It's something that has to be done time and time again and kept up with. You're welcome.
Tapping it once and calling it a day.
No, we want to tap it every day.
Hi, babe. The man's here. He's saying dinner is ready.
Ooh.
And then, or at least he's ordering dinner. And then I finish up with my replenishing face cream. So this has my nighttime regime. So this is actually my daytime is thicker because it has SPF. This is thinner. So this goes in there and actually moisturizes. And when I put it on my skin, I can literally feel my skin like regenerating. So I love this. I love. I highly recommend this line. What I really liked about this was when I went on there, you put in your skin tone, you put in what you're looking for. And this is made for more of the male clientele. This is made for men. And you go in there, you put in your skin, you put it, if you have wrinkles, you put it in acne, and then you actually upload a picture.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
You upload your picture, it goes in, and 3 minutes later, you have a diagnosis of what they think you need. They send you a 30-day trial. If you continue to like it, you can set up for auto ship. So if anyone wants to look again, not sponsor it, but if Geology wants to reach out to us, they can. It's called Geology. It's an amazing product. Amazing product. So, all right. So let's see. Eric says Eric is showing off Joe says Eric is showing off his booty that's turned into OnlyFans. Don says, thank you all for keeping the show going. You are very, very welcome, Don. You know, this is one thing that I've got to say, you know, with all of the drag shows being on hold kind of everywhere, you know, some of them are popping back up, you know, into restaurants and stuff like that, which is great. But this is
great, but it's also like a double-edged sword because at the same time, you know, is it being done right? Right? Are we being
done right and correct? I support it.
Right, exactly. Are we being sincere about that? Or is it just opening up to open up again?
Right. You know, I get people need to work and need to do the thing as long as they're doing it correctly and safely. So, all right, guys. Well, as we come to the end, I would like to thank all of you for joining us today. If you could make sure that you share us, like us, follow us. We're really trying to build the YouTube channel so that we can stream from one platform and make it to where everybody sees us. If you could please head on over to YouTube, look up Sass&Science, and you can add and like and follow and subscribe. Facebook, Sass&Science, YouTube, Sass&Science. Again, we highly, highly love that every week you take an hour out of your day to come and join us so that we can talk about things that are important that people aren't talking about.
Like your largest organ.
Like our largest organ. And sometimes a couple people, you know, some people have a couple extra inches on that organ too that gets cut off, or sometimes it doesn't, let's just say. So, again, this is Bear on Say Bear. Stay tuned to see what next week's episode is about. This is Bear on Say Bear, the Sass.
I'm Eric Suarez, the Science.
Sass&Science. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a good evening.